Welcome back. Now here's Amber Doherty with your 5-day weather forecast.
Finally, the weather is matching the calendar, and it'll get even warmer for your weekend. Today we'll reach a high of 10 degrees. There's a 40% chance of showers overnight. Tomorrow our lovely warm temperatures will dip down to 6 with a mix of sun and cloud, and Saturday will drop down further to a high of 3 and a low of -6. But then Sunday we jump up to 12 degrees with the promise of wind and showers. Hey, at least it's warm. And Monday the periods of rain will continue, and so will the warm 12 degrees. That's all for your 5-day weather forecast. Now back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Amber. Connecticut lawmakers passed a comprehensive gun control bill today. The sweeping restrictions came in the wake of last year's deadly school shooting in Newtown, where 20 first graders and 6 teachers were gunned down. The legislation adds more than 100 firearms to the state's assault weapons ban, as well as a ban on high-capacity magazines holding more than 10 rounds. It will also create the country's first dangerous weapon offender registry and stricter requirements for buying ammunition. Officials say the new bill will be among the strongest anti-gun laws in the United States.
South Korea's Defense Minister Kim Kwon-jin says North Korea has moved a missile with a range of 3,000 kilometers to its east coast. But Kim says there are no signs that North Korea is preparing for a full-scale conflict. Japan, South Korea, and U.S. bases in both countries would be within range, but there are doubts about the missile's accuracy. The Pentagon announced it will deploy a missile defense system to the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam to provide protection against a possible attack.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is dipping her foot back into the publishing world. Clinton is planning on publishing her 5th book, but this time it's about American foreign policy. The yet-to-be-titled book will touch on topics like the killing of Osama bin Laden and the overthrow of Gaddafi. It will also include Clinton's more signature topics like protecting women and girls in developing economies. This book is to be published in the summer of 2014 and could polish her credentials for a possible presidential run in 2016.
Back in Canada, a Walmart greeter has been the target of a pepper spray attack. A 74-year-old woman tried to prevent thieves at an Edmonton store from leaving, but was pepper sprayed. The RCMP says the woman was attacked after asking a man to provide her with a receipt. Police say 2 males were trying to exit the store with a vehicle battery and a speaker when the alarm went off. Fortunately, shoppers got the license plate number of the thieves and the RCMP were able to arrest them.
A woman is up for early release today after serving part of a manslaughter charge for killing her 2 young boys. Australian native Alison McConnell has served 2/3 of a 15-month jail term for manslaughter. McConnell drowned her sons in 2010. She was depressed and suicidal, jumping off a highway overpass after the murders. Her ex-husband says he thinks his former wife may be trying to fly home to Australia. But Alberta justice officials say they're urging the federal government to stop McConnell from going back.
Facebook's big announcement today was all about phones. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the company will not be building their own phone despite previous speculation. They launched Facebook Home, a new landing screen that Zuckerberg called the soul of your phone. It will display new posts making your phone about people instead of apps.
And now with your sports news, here's Andrew Millichamp.
Hi everybody. The Leafs are back on the ice tonight at the ACC as they tango with the Flyers. Joe Colburn has been called up by the Leafs as Fraser McLaren is out with the flu. And Ryan O'Byrne is expected to make his Leafs debut tonight. O'Byrne was acquired yesterday in a trade with Colorado that sent the 6'5", 234-pounder to the Leafs in exchange for a 4th-round pick. O'Byrne is a stay-at-home defenseman who led the Avalanche in blocked shots last year. With teams now set for the stretch drive after trade deadline day, every point will become that much more important. There are 10 games scheduled in the NHL tonight. New Jersey will travel to Boston to play the Bruins. The Devils sit tied for 8th, while the Bruins are 1 point back of Montreal in the division. The surprising Islanders, who are tied with the Devils but have played one more game, head to Washington to face the Caps. Ovechkin and company are 10th, just 3 points back of the last playoff spot. The Jets also play tonight as they visit the Canadiens. The Jets sit in 3rd as the leaders in their division, but are only 2 points up on the Capitals. And St. Louis is in Chicago looking to gain some ground. The Blues are 1 point behind Edmonton for 8th. Speaking of Edmonton, the Oilers come off a stunning 8-2 win in the Battle of Alberta to play the Canucks in Vancouver tonight. The Oil have won 5 in a row, and their young core is looking very dangerous. The Jays are still looking for win number 1 after falling in extra innings last night. Jose Bautista tied it up in the 9th with a bomb to left, but Sergio Santos left a 96-mile-per-hour fastball up in the zone, and Indians DH Mark Reynolds smashed into the second deck. The Jays will look to avoid the sweep as they send Mark Burley to the mound. There are 10 other games in baseball today. In the AL, the Red Sox look to sweep the Yankees before heading to Toronto tomorrow. The Tigers and Twins both look to get the extra win in their 3-game series, and the Royals are still looking for their first win as they finish off their series in Chicago against the White Sox. In the NL, the Braves are looking for the sweep against the Phillies, the Padres look for their first W against the New York Mets, and the Cubs and Pirates meet to see who can stay atop the NL Central, and the Nationals go for the sweep against the Marlins. There are only 3 games in the NBA tonight. The marquee matchup is the Spurs in Oklahoma to face the Thunder. The Thunder are a game and a half behind the Spurs for the top spot in the West. In other action, the Bulls will play the Nets, and the Mavericks fight for their playoff lives against the Nuggets. Canada is tied for first place at the Men's Curling World Championships. Canada is sitting atop the pack with a 7-2 record. They'll be in action twice today, playing Denmark before playing Sweden later in the day. The top 4 teams make the playoffs, and 2 wins would guarantee Canada will see the next round. That's it for sports. Now back to the newsroom.
There's nothing like having a fake funeral to help get a fresh perspective on life. One 22-year-old Chinese student staged her own funeral as an act of soul-searching. Zhang Jia says the idea came from an epiphany she had after her grandfather's death. Jia hired a team of makeup artists and laid in an open coffin for an hour while mourners paid their respects. Jia says she felt good when she came out of the coffin, and she now appreciates life.
That's all for Humber News today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sasha Lindsay.
And I'm Jesse Baines. Humber News is written and produced by journalism students here at the North Campus. You can also catch us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.